Rome Theater of Pompeii.
Days before Caesar will officially become a tyrant.
There he is. People love you, Caesar. You're a god. The Senate will not bow so easily. A parliament of clucking hens. Let me be your wolf.
Go. Do nothing until I give the signal.
You know, realistically, after they jumped down there, she could have just not jumped down there and been like, hey, you idiots, you're down there now, and then just ran around. Gone after target. Oh, what is that? Oh, what is this? So she has her own final boss too. Okay. And hello, Gavrotch. Okay, but he uses that moveset. Okay, so I have bows. Okay. I don't have any other of those. Can I still... Yeah, I can still do that. I wonder if I can do that for that. It doesn't... Realistically, it doesn't seem like I'd be able to. But gameplay-wise, might be a different deal.
Kneel to Caesar. Kneel to Rome.
Whoa!
Good to side with winners. We are the writers of history.
No, I don't think I can. Oh, 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 oh! Well, I'm not through with the challenges in this game yet.
King of the order now.
Caesar is the father
So
of
hold on.
understanding.
There's my standard attack
Caesar will die.
and my heavy attack. Would I be able to do it through there? Maybe. I kind of dash in with it.
The rest of the lives
It's
of slaves.
kind of scary. Oh boy.
When murder is just.
I command armies.
Crap, man.
I control greatness.
Can I just like...
Erase your order.
Alright, I'm just learning for now. For now, I'm just learning. Learning his patterns and stuff. And what I can do. Okay, I tried to hit parry there, but I... Huh. Yeah, it might have been easier with an actual shield, because I'm fairly certain I was able to parry those things during someone with like an equivalent moveset earlier in the playthrough. Oh my goodness.
Father of understanding.
You and Caesar.
May the Father of Understanding guide us, maybe? Is that the origins of that? I don't know.
The order is greater than Rome.
Father of Understanding, huh?
The rest of the liars and slaves.
You make me understand when murder is just.
Oh, he's being a weirdo!
I control greatness.
Are there even perfect dodges in this game?
Erase your
Like, I don't think it's like Breath of the Wild or anything like that. My god.
It feels good to side with winners. We are the writers of history.
Caesar will follow you to oblivion.
Okay, I'm getting information right now.
Pissed himself when he saw the
I'm getting information, I'm learning, just like Bayek's final boss there. I'm learning for now.
So Caesar is the king
Is
of
there a dodge roll? There's this, essentially. You can do 3 and then the last one, you know, puts you in a very vulnerable position if you do 3 in a row.
affairs of the
But yeah, so you can do up to 3 in a row.
order is greater than Rome. Go back to Egypt.
I can! I just need to time it with the second one rather than the first one. The one that's coming from around my right side, not the left side. But I can parry it. I just need to do it with that one.
I will erase your order.
So rather than the whoosh whoosh, like with the first whoosh, each time it comes around, I gotta do it with the second.
Feels good to side with winners.
Like that. That's the timing.
Caesar will
I
follow
gotcha.
you to oblivion.
I understand now.
Himself when he saw the knife.
I will.
Okay, I was timing it with the first one before. That's where my issue was coming from.
No honor.
But now that I know that it's a second one.
Everything from me.
I am a Gabignani. I thought you would scurry
Oh,
away.
but he stopped at that time.
You should have taken your chance to drop off the map.
Flavius isn't here to save you this time, Septimius.
Oh, he keeps stopping it now.
Mistakes will be made.
Okay. Music's getting kind of cool. He keeps stopping it. He knows I'm gonna parry it. He's a knower. Okay. want to get stabbed? Okay. I think I got you now. But he knows I'm gonna parry. He's a knower. Okay. Oh, crap. No, I need that to not hit me. Oh, because that'll delete most of my health if that does happen. Okay. My thing's almost charged up. Okay. So then we do that. Get some good damage in. Okay. Whoa. Okay, well, that works fine, I guess. Okay. Okay. Come on! Okay. He's at half health. Okay, I understand it now. I think I get it now. Okay. Yeah, these are pretty fast weapons, though. Which does give me the opportunity to come in and punish that. Oh! Oh! Well, there goes one of my notches of health. Okay. It's fine, though. It's fine. It's A-okay here. Still pretty confident with this round. Uh-oh. Crap. Get out of there. Okay. He's running with it now. Crap. 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 Ah! Come on. Yeah, he increased his speed. Okay, now he's walking with it again. Yeah, now he's just slowly walking with it again. Whoa, there we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a pretty spicy boss as well.
Damn you, Lupa.
My son's heart. For your life.
Was revenge everything you hoped? You and the Magi shall drench the sheets with your sweat tonight.
This stuff.
With the Order, I served them and your beloved Egypt. And I'll be rewarded in the afterlife. An eternity of drinking and whoring with my brothers.
The only thing that waits for you is oblivion. For your name, your order, and the rotting corpses of your Cabignani. I could devour your fetid heart.
So we do end up taking out all the targets then.
With the rest of the Senate.
Reach the Curia. Okay. Ooh, arrows! Yoink! All the things. Sweet. Wait. I got even the other types of arrows. So does that mean... No. I can't go into equipment menu and equip different types of bows? But yeah, that was pretty spicy though. It did really throw me off how you had to time counters off of like the second one, not the first one. Okay.
This place is crawling with soldiers.
Pff, oh, oops. Oh, oops. That's awkward, isn't it? Oh, well, I parried one. But, yeah, that's a little bit awkward, isn't it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's other guys coming over there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so don't just drop down into the courtyard. I got it. Can I call Senyu? No, I can't. Oh, man. I don't have eagle powers. Okay. It seems like this tree was one made by the developer specifically for getting around. Okay. I see now. Oops. Well, we'll make that mistake again. So I can probably just go around this. In fact, if I want to be ultra safe, I could probably climb this. I don't see any guards around, apart from that guy. They won't see me climb the thing, will they? Maybe, maybe not. Here, I'll take out this guy. And then I'll climb this. And we don't have to worry about the bazillion guys trying to ruin my day. Someone started seeing me there, but not for long. Oh. Oh! They assassin-proofed it! Oh. I didn't realize that. I mean, technically I could do this all the way around. Makes you wonder why they don't do that in more Assassin's Creed games. The enemies, you know? Like, this is Origins, the origin story and stuff. But you'd think that sometime down the line they would have caught on and been like, huh, maybe we should assassin-proof our rooftops, you know? Because that, kind of messed with my plans. But, I mean, technically I could do this, it's just really slow. But, you know, it works. Oh, man. Well, I was not expecting that. That's fine, they're not looking up here anyway. So, bird and assassin-proof, yeah. In the context of the game, more fitting for assassin-proof, but yeah, it's multi-purpose and its function. The best inventions are those that are multi-purpose, after all, you know. Alright, well, around we go. Round and around. Reach the Curia. Alright. That's exactly what I'll do. Nobody's around and nobody's gonna look up? Oh, can I climb up there? There I might actually be able to climb up. It's a good thing this isn't, you know, super duper slow. If it was one of the old Assassin's Creed games where they kind of go, then, you know, this would be unbearable. Oh, no, there is. It just needed to load in. Is all it is. Okay. I gotcha. Oh, but can I climb up that? Or does that just not have things load in as well? Is this a spot they missed? Not like it matters with the... Oh, maybe I can't even climb that wall. Oh, and there's spikes there. Yeah, thank goodness it's not like Breath of the Wild. Just fall after so long. You suspect nothing. Oh, Assassin's Creed guards will always continue to be blind no matter what game it is, right? It's the rule. Okay. Interact, yes! Wait, what are we gonna use that for? Oh! Oh! I see how it is. Assassinate Caesar.
And land to all its citizens, not just the privileged few.
You are just as privileged as I.
I am not dictator for life.
An honor bestowed upon me by the people of Rome. Would you have me refuse such a gift?
I mean, I don't know whether it's something he partook in, but you know, it was definitely a thing that was going on at the time, you know. A lot of people like to treat things like, no, that's more of a modern thing. That doesn't happen. Nope. That It happened, yeah.
Marcus Antonius offered me the crown at the Lupercalia festival. I refused it.
And what a pretty play it was.
Free play.
You don't need a crown. They have made you a god.
Mark me, Gaius Cassius Longinus. Support me in my dreams for Rome, and old divisions will be forgotten.
Senators, the war is over.
Wow, amazing news. I just want to see how long this goes on.
I've reached a fever pitch.
Rome will not be a monarchy again.
It seems Brutus would start a revolution.
Yeah, you'd think I'd stand out quite a bit with this, but guess not.
How can you say that when you have raised yourself so far above the people?
I speak for the people.
You have seized the rights of the citizenry.
No. The people infused with fear and blinded by patriotism offered up all of their rights to their leader and did it gladly so.
Is that so?
Made you leader of Rome.
The eternal city herself.
Caesar will not be reasoned with. Senators, we still have a voice in this forum.
I will hear your complaints.
Caesar deigns to listen. Romans rejoice.
Not as much dialogue as we get there. Okay, well, I guess time to die. Oh, jeez. Everyone just needed the first excuse.
You too, my child.
Oh my goodness, right in the tick. I don't know if that was intended when they designed the cutscene, but
The tyrant is dead. You are free now. Do I know you? You who strikes from the shadows.
The same fate will come to all despots.
In the end, it is impossible not to become what others believe you are. And I was a god!
There is a new creed now.
Yeah! Rome is eternal! She will never fall to you or your kind.
Freedom is not given, Caesar. It is taken. Requiescat in pace, Caesar.
Do you know what you've done? Caesarion would have sat on the throne of Rome. Listen to the cries in the streets. They call you a dead tyrant's whore. I am still your queen. You are a queen of liars and snakes. I fought for you for 5 years. Our people worshipped you. Apollodorus died for you for Egypt. For Egypt? I am Egypt! Then be the ruler our people deserve. Or nothing will save you from my blade across your throat. You are the last of the pharaohs.
I'm back to Bayek? I guess now? Cycle hints. Also, that was an interesting throwback to Ezio there, even if it doesn't make as much sense in this context. Where would she have learned Requiescat in pace? That's still kind of cool.
A lake of tears high in the mountains.
Is he saying it again? Okay. He started saying the dialogue leading up to that one mission again. He did that after he beat his final boss as well. What a weirdo.
Is also dead.
I have founded a bureau in the middle of Rome. Yet, no one knows of our existence. Like Amun, we are the Hidden Ones.
I believe in you.
Because, yeah, they needed an excuse to start that somewhere in the timeline.
The irony of freedom.
Oh, the frame rate!
Of each other, yet it brings me no happiness. We must move forward. Remain in our tempest of blood poetry. Despite it all, we dance, and they die. From darkness we have come, and in darkness we shall stay. Humans are not meant to last forever. But this creed will. The creed is the only immortal thing in the world.
Go home. You're free.
I don't want to go home by myself. I'm scared.
Should we take him to the bureau?
No. I'll take you home.
Let nothing grieve you beyond measure, for your life is short and time will claim its toll. But I am no longer who I was. I have renounced all love I once had. I have renounced Aya. I have killed Aya. I am now the Hidden One, known as Amunet.
And then the music cuts in the middle of that. Ah, but interesting.
May your victories multiply.
Oh, my computer does not like this. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Papa?
Hmm?
Jump.
Oh. Oh. New Game Plus option has been unlocked. Wait, so credits don't roll? Quest complete Birth of the Creed, but I guess we did it. That is letter quest item. Remembers the AC2 asset? Oh, was that one of the names of one of the tombs that we were at in AC2? I would not have remembered that. Jump. Can't synchronize here, can I? I guess I just... It's no credits rolling this time? I guess? They just put you right back into the game. Yeah. That's the main thing is done. Yeah. Huh. I kind of would have liked to have had a credits rolling and... Oh, Hidden Ones Bureau. You can access the Hidden Ones Bureau. Memphis unique items are available in the Bureau shop. Wait. What, is that around here? I don't know what you mean, game. Wasn't this, was it? I kind of would have liked the credits rolling and then, you know, listening to that theme there and then... You know, I give my review at the end like we typically do. I could probably go to the main menu and roll the credits is what I could probably do. Because we typically, you know, have our wrap-up discussion, you know, full review at the end of a game while the credits are rolling and stuff. You know, we still have more to go because there'll still be DLC and stuff with this, but, you know, but we're done with the main thingamabob. Huh. I mean, alternatively, since we're here anyway, since we're in the world anyway, what I could do is I could just run around continuing to get experience and completion percentage while rambling. Like, this is a really good game for running around just, you know, doing objectives while talking about whatever kind of stuff since we, have done that plenty throughout the series. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's give my wrap-up review while I'm going around, like, doing objectives and stuff. So, as we've been going through the complete Assassin's Creed series in order here, the last couple games I wasn't super duper impressed by. I actually enjoyed Unity a lot more than I did back when it first came out after replaying it here. Though, you know, gameplay-wise, it wasn't exactly my favorite. Gameplay-wise, both Unity and Syndicate weren't exactly favorites of mine there. Where the heck is the thingamabob? I is confused here. Aha! Yes, that away. Like, Syndicate just kind of felt like a world with missions in it. Like, that's the one that I was... Oh, there is a thingamabob there. And I felt kind of burnt out back when I played Syndicate, back when, you know, I'd never even beaten it. This time on the channel, evidently I beat it, but, you know, I was just kind of, like, meh about it. Was the case. Interact. So I was a little bit worried after... You mind? No, it's this button. Hold on. Come on. Come on. How the heck do I get to that stupid thing? Crap, maybe this isn't the best thing to multitask. Oh, crap! Oh, no! Ah! 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 What is happening? I got a nice new shield. Oh, that was the treasure. I marked a different thing over there. Wow. Okay. Let's yoink those snakes and stuff. Oh my goodness. How did I get in here again? How do I get out? I don't know. Where am I going? Is there anything over here? What am I doing? There's more to explore? Anyway, I was a little bit worried after that title being like, man, is the next one just gonna be kind of more of the same? And that's kind of why back when I stopped playing the Assassin's Creed titles, you know, Syndicate was the last one that I had played, and, you know, gosh dang, I'm just gonna fast travel over here, screw it. And Origins here is my first time going into a mainline game completely blind, you know, because I just never really followed it. I was like, man, I'm kind of done with Assassin's Creed. I'm not that interested anymore. So I was a little bit worried coming into this game, but I actually really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Gameplay-wise, it was very addictive. You know, like I was saying earlier, we did a lot of just running around completing objectives like this. Like a lot of other Assassin's Creed games, it seems to be like very satisfying for completionists going around marking all the things as done on the map. Except here, it's even more so. In addition to marking the things as done on the map and building up completion percentage, but you level up with, you know, your traditional level-based system and have a skill tree of a lot of really cool stuff, you know? So it felt extra good to be going around doing that. So, you know, other Assassin's Creed games, if I wasn't playing on 100%ing them, and you know, the game schedule around here is kind of crazy, I'd feel kind of weird going around doing some side objectives being like, man, is there really much point in this? Is it really going to help me all that much? You know, or am I just kind of wasting time by doing this? Whereas here, even if I'm doing side stuff, I know that it's going to help me for sure in the story because it contributes to like my level and my skills and stuff like that. So it became really, really satisfying to be going around doing side content like that. I am so confused how that guy get to this. I guess around this way, Squeezy. I'm so confused. Maybe I shouldn't have exited from there. Maybe that would have potentially led to this chest some way, somehow. So, I had a lot of fun with that. That was a good time. Maybe I can just climb over here. So, like, the gameplay loop of just going around, filling up completion on the map, doing quests and all kinds of things. Yeah, this is the one that I initially came in with, I'm fairly certain. It was really addictive. It was really satisfying. It had a really satisfying gameplay loop. I quite enjoyed it. In terms of things like the combat, the way that they changed it, part of me does kind of like the old counter-based system of so many Assassin's Creed games, just for like the satisfaction of like, I timed the counter, and here's a really cool counter animation with like, you know, a super satisfying kill animation there. But I do realize that it doesn't exactly give a whole lot in the way of challenge a lot of the time. So while this combat system was a lot less flashy, okay, they're staying dead, that's good, was a lot less flashy, in terms of like being able to challenge me gameplay wise, it felt like an action game that, you know, I could actually take some time to learn instead of just like learn the timing for the counter and now you're good for the rest of the game, like several of the previous ones. Like this was actually a lot more of a skill-based thing. Like the final boss for both Aya and Bayek there, that challenged me a bit. I thought they were pretty spicy. I liked them. You know, I feel like maybe they could have, you know, if I had to change them here in Nightmare mode, I would have probably decreased their damage, but had their attacks be a bit faster so they hit you more often. Instead of, like, Nightmare mode was a little bit sketchy for things like that. When it's like, oh yeah, the boss hit you once, here goes half your health and you're only going to be recovering, like, you know, part of a notch of that, essentially. That aspect I wasn't super big on. The thing where Bob with how much damage they do there. So I would have taken enemies being like faster and harder to deal with, but less damage, you know, is what I kind of would have preferred. And the Bayek's final boss kind of really exemplified that for me. Aya's wasn't that bad, you know, didn't have too much trouble with that. But Bayek's, I feel like, you know, more speed, hit you more often, but do less damage doing it. I probably would have preferred that kind of system, you know. It wasn't unbearable, you know, I was able to get through it and stuff being around the recommended level. But yeah, that was the case there. I do really like the addition of difficulty modes with this game. Like generally I did have fun with Nightmare mode. Like it's not one of those, it wasn't quite like it described on the screen when I first chose it, where it's like I want to wake up in cold shivers in the night, like I want to, you know, torment my time being whatever the heck it phrased it as, that whole thing, Bob. It wasn't quite like that. In fact, it just felt a lot more realistic is what it almost felt like. Like you receive 2 to 3 stabs, yeah, you're going down. You receive a few arrows, yep, that's dead there. So I never felt like it was, you know, I never felt like it was rigged against me. Like there were sometimes, it's a Ubisoft game, so there's always going to be like jank sometimes that happens and you're like, what the heck, what was that? But generally, when I would die, I would never feel like that was complete BS, what the heck was I supposed to do there, you know, anything like that. Like there was always a solution to, there, you're not transporting anything. Okay, I don't know how the heck I get to that one chest. You know, there was always a better way that I could have handled it that would have got me out of that situation, you know. Though there were, okay, I'll grab this chest then, I guess, is what I'll do. There was typically a way to handle these things, though. You know, with being a traditional level-based system and an open world game, it did mean that there were some things that I wouldn't be able to do early yet. I would be able to do them early if I really, really played my absolute best. It's not like something like Pokemon's open world, where Pokemon is, you know, a turn-based game there. Level-based, turn-based, and, you know, if you go into a challenge super early, there's a good chance it might just be impossible. Action games like this, you can take whatever challenge at whatever point, and it will always be possible, technically. You just have to play really well. And there were some times that I would challenge myself in some higher level areas, and it would be fun. And, you know, in Nightmare mode here especially, guards would still hit hard enough that even if I was over leveled for an area, it would never feel free. Like, I very much enjoyed the challenge that came with that. I don't really want to do any side quests and have dialogue and stuff like that while I'm rambling and giving my review here, so like, hold on, what's like a section of the world that I haven't really explored all that much? This isn't available here. What are some things? There's things around here that I can do. Sure, let's do things around here, whatever this is, while I continue giving my review there. So yeah, I did generally enjoy the challenge. It felt fair enough. You know, it felt pretty brutal at times, being like, oh, I eat a few hits and then I die. At first I thought I had like a weird axe there, the weird angle that it was at. Like, I enjoyed the difficulty mode. Like, location complete. Oh, well, there's that. You know, we don't always play every single playthrough on this channel on the hardest difficulty. Like, some games are designed to be, you know, darn near impossible with their hardest difficulties. Like Nier Automata, for example, where it's like, the hardest difficulty in that game is like, yeah, you straight get one shot. So, you know, games like that, I don't do the hardest difficulties in, but, you know, a lot of the time, like most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time on this channel, maybe even more than that, if a game has difficulty modes, we'll play the hardest difficulty on this channel, you know? Will be the case. And typically, I'll really enjoy a game's hardest difficulty mode if it does really challenge me, have some really spicy stuff going on, but never feel unfair. Never feel like any time that I died, like it was BS, it wasn't fair, like what the heck was I supposed to do there? I very seldom had that feeling with this game. I did enjoy this game's hardest difficulty. This was pretty fun. This was a good time. And, you know, the fact that I'm actually getting challenged is also a stark difference to, you know, the past several games that, no, it's fine. Bit of a stark contrast to the last several games where it's like, you know, typically not super challenging. There were some times in AC Syndicate where I would get surrounded by a whole lot of guards always shooting, and it's like, okay, now what do I do? But, you know, usually not all that challenging. This was challenging in a fun way. I enjoyed it. But yeah, yeah, that's the way that is with a lot of games. Like, I feel like this game didn't inflate it too much. I feel like a game that's a good example of inflating that too much was Nier Replicant. Nier Replicant, the enemies would have so dang much health and take so long to beat. There was this one side quest that I had to do where I needed to defeat this one boss, and it was a side quest that was required to beat the game because it had a weapon behind it and you needed all the weapons to get all the endings of that game. It was pretty silly. And that boss had so much HP that I put a rubber band around, like I targeted him, and I put a rubber band around the left stick to be spinning around him like this, and I stay targeted, so I just kind of circle him, and I put another rubber band around the attack button, which is that, for like shooting with Grimoire Vice, and just had him slowly die. And I played another video game for an hour and a half while the dude slowly died. So Nier Replicant to me is a chief example of inflating the healths of enemies so much to the point that it's like, really? You really thought this was a good idea to this point? So dumb. It was so awful. You're really doing that up here? So there are some games that, you know, have their hardest difficulty modes just inflate it to absolutely absurd extremes. That's like, why would you do this? Did you playtest this and find that it was fun? Like, really? Like, this, the extent to which they did it here felt fine. You know, some exceptions might be like big story bosses, like the final boss with Bayek there, where it's like one hit and he takes off half your health, where it's like, yeah, that I'm a little bit more unsure of. Like, that, as I was saying before, is more like, I would have done it so that he does less damage, but he hits you more frequently. Like, his attacks are faster and harder to predict and stuff, is the way that I would have handled the difficulty of that personally. So, you know, it wasn't exactly perfect. You know, wasn't exactly a perfect difficulty mode here. But generally, I liked Nightmare mode. Whoops. I did generally like it. I'm so bad at this video game. There we go. Geez, you were the one transporting the stuff, right? My goodness. There we go. There's a whole bunch of iron and stuff. Oh, new location discovered. It's a fort. Okay, I probably shouldn't have come in like that. But yeah, as I was saying before, it's so satisfying just running around and hamming out objectives like this. It's fun. Is a good time there. Whoa. Yeah, let's be super secretive and stuff here. Am I hidden here, even? Doesn't show like the outline as if I am. Weirdly enough. But yeah, I was a little bit worried when I saw Nightmare mode there that it might just be like a, you know, Nier Replicant situation. Oh no, I get hidden, right? Wait, what? What? I'm so confused. I was worried for a little bit that it might just be a Nier Replicant situation. It wasn't. For the most part, I enjoyed the difficulty of this. 'Twas a good time. I rather enjoyed. Wow. Going around and getting materials can be pretty satisfying. The fact that, you know, there's a whole bunch of like very generic material types like wood, iron, copper, stuff like that around the world that you can use to do upgrades like this. I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Some previous Assassin's Creed games would have crafting like with the Americas trilogy, or most notably things like Black Flag and Rogue, where it's like, here's a materials screen and you need these specific pelts where it's like health upgrade 1, health upgrade 2, health upgrade 3, health upgrade 4 that you can do in whatever order. And you need to get those specific things where it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just be, you know, hunting animals whenever I see them because they might have the thingamabobs I need there. Whereas this, it's like, okay, if I go around gathering materials, it'll help me with something for sure. Like, no doubt there. Like, it wasn't that bad in the Americas games. It's not like a situation like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which, you know, is something that I brought up in my video essay on that game, where if you want to craft TMs, you need this specific Pokemon fur, which is only going to exist in this one specific part of the world. So go to this specific part of the world and find that one Pokemon if you want to craft that one TM, and they're just consumable and gross. You know, it's not something like that. It's if I see materials around the world, gather them, and I can slowly be upgrading my equipment in meaningful ways there. I do wish that there were more ways to get materials though. Like, you know, I could be hunting animals as I go around the world, similar to the Americas games in this. But it felt like once I realized how important the materials were, I needed to start being really active on the lookout for, you know, convoys going through. Like that, for example, to, you know, be looting them as they go by. Because if I wasn't doing that, then I was getting kind of screwed out of my equipment and hidden blade damage and stuff like that, you know? Okay, so they're both in the same place. So I do kind of wish that there were some other ways that you could get things like iron and copper. Like maybe if you infiltrate camps like this, that's, well, sometimes some of their chests have stuff like that, but very rarely and usually not all that great of amounts. But, you know, give some other incentive to things like looting camps or something like that, you know? Would have been kind of cool, as opposed to just EXP. Like, I do have fun looting the camps as is and getting this completion percentage in EXP, but would have been cool if you got materials from them as well. There were things like the shards of specific things that I assume were finite in some way. Like, I'll go get that while I'm coming through. The whatever the heck shards, the, what were they? Whatever the blue things are there, for example. You know, stuff like that you could get from looting camps for some of the higher level upgrades. And it's like, okay, that gives me some more incentive to loot these camps. But I do wish that you could also get more things like iron and copper, or maybe, you know, there's bandits in mines or something like, I don't know. It just felt like if you're not actively keeping an eye out for these convoys, these transports, as you go through the game, that you're not really going to be able to upgrade all your things there. You know, not going to be able to get all that much in the way of upgrades. So that was a small downside there. That's like, yeah, I gotta keep on being mindful of these and going after them.
You've been hiding opium from us.
And stuff.
What did you think the commander would do?
Okay. Why do you have some of your health missing already? So you gotta do stuff like that. At least it doesn't take too long. There. 20 cedarwood. Cedarwood, whatever. I don't know. Let's do the thing that's out here. How about? This is what we can do. So, generally I like the material and crafting system of this game to upgrade equipment. But I do wish that there was more ways to get these kinds of materials like iron and copper, rather than just like, let's keep an eye out for, you know, transports coming through. Would have been cool to have like a few ways to be able to obtain these materials. The water of this game looks really good. This is getting into visuals and stuff, I guess now. I really liked how when you're swimming around, the game will spawn you a, whoa! I like how random events like this happen. That's another thing that I like. Oh, crap. And you get experience from doing them and stuff. Let's save this guy from the predator attack, even though he's, like, getting pretty far out of here now. There we go, and I got some experience for doing that. Sweet! We eliminated the threat. I like how when you're swimming around for a while, it'll spawn you a boat nearby. Like, that's super convenient. You know, and it typically spawns them, you know, off camera. You're not gonna see them pop in. It's just like... What is that some weird effect? I thought it was a fish swimming up out of the water at first. I like how when you dive, it's seamless like this. Like in Assassin's Creed 4, for example, you had to go through a loading zone and then get into like the dedicated diving bell areas. Whereas this, you want to see what's going on underwater. You just dive and, you know, see what's going on under there. Completely seamlessly. It's awesome. I really like that. It makes the world feel a lot more genuine. So I really quite enjoyed that about it. Yeah, there's this here. I guess I can just swim right over to it. It's really pretty nice stuff. You silly doggy? Are you staring at the treat shelf again? The doc says that she has to cut down on treats a little bit though, so I'm not giving them to her as often. And she's like, what the heck? I know there's treats on that shelf. Maybe if I can get the tougher guy. Oh, well. I love how ledge assassinations are back. Well, there we go. Location complete. Oh, that's all I had to do here. Let's take out that guy. Sweet. Alright, anything else that I can do around here? Or, alright, I've done things around there. I wonder if I can fast travel away right now. Just a few things there. Is there any major area I haven't explored here? There's Desherit's Desert that I haven't really explored. There's a bunch of things over here. Can I fast travel here or I can't in combat? Yeah. Makes sense that you can't just, you know, avoid death here. Makes sense, I suppose. I like all the different weapon types in this. I thought that it was cool that you could, you know, mix and match with different weapon types. And the fact that you have a quick button to change weapons in the middle of battle like that. That's pretty cool if you want to change to a different weapon right then and there. I thought that was pretty neat. The skills are really dang cool, like chain throw. It's cool. I enjoyed it. Yoink. I got a shield and stuff. Big smackaroo. There we go. You know, now that it's not counter-based gameplay, sometimes, you know, some of the animations can't be as flashy as a consequence. But the kill animations, they still sometimes make pretty flashy. And I appreciate that. It's pretty darn cool. You know? Oh, there's a whole bunch of things all around here. Let's go here, how about? Oh. Does I still count as in combat? I guess. Get on out of here. Oh. Well, can I fast travel now? They haven't quite fully seen me yet. Hey, I can! Sweet! You'll love to see it. Sometimes she looks kind of longingly up at the couch like she wants up there, but she can't jump up there on her own anymore. And anytime I lift her up there, she's like, I don't want up there anymore. You took all the fun out of it. Yeah, doing. That's what's going on there. I like how from the last couple of games they kept the whole free run up and free run down systems by holding A or B respectively. I don't think this game ever brought it up though, that, you know, you go up with A and down with B, unless it did and I just completely forgot, so it would have been cool if, you know, that was more evident there. Should I? No, I don't know. They've already flown away a bit much here anyway. So yeah, those are all some things I like there. The quest tracking is typically pretty good. You know, I like the numerous side quests around the world that, you know, offer more opportunities for world building in terms of understanding, you know, what kind of things were going on around during these times, what life was like and stuff like that. Like, that was one of the things I found really intriguing about this is, you know, it feels like this game for, you know, its main story. There were some parts that were pretty rooted in, like, historical events in this story, but, you know, not a super massive ton. Not as much compared to a lot of other Assassin's Creed games. But, what's this? Goodbye, Philadelphia. In case anyone wants to read that, you can pause it and read it, but I'm just gonna, yeah. Gonna do here. Just laws. There's a law that states I'm hitting the top of the thing. Then I can go over this away. But I feel like rather than focusing on historical events, it felt like with this game and like exploring the open world, like it had a lot more of a focus on world building in the sense of just understanding kind of what life was like in this time period. Like, the game never went into all that much detail about, you know, here's all this stuff and tension that's going on between, you know, Egyptians and Romans, you know, or Greeks there. Sorry, whatever. Same kind of deal, whatever. Not the, you know what I mean, though. There's the tensions between these two groups. The story itself never focused all that much on that. But as you explore around the world and you see, you know, guards being mean to people and then NPCs being like, ah, this happened again, it sucks, man. And you see these tensions. The game never tells it to you in your story, but rather it shows. It's like, you know, it's showing, not telling. And I feel like it gave me a pretty good understanding of, yeah, this was the kind of atmosphere that was going on here. It focused more on atmosphere than it did just in your face, here's events that are happening at, like, some of the previous games is what it felt like. And I appreciated that. I thought that was kind of cool, you know? It gave me a good sense of atmosphere, probably one of the best I feel like I've experienced in this series thus far. I thought it was neat. There we go. Cool. And yeah, it's satisfying going around here and, getting EXP and stuff, you know? No. Down. Wah. Also, I might put on that one spicy Moon's Blade. I want to see what Oasis... Wait. But that's not my flaming one, though, right? Wah. This is yeah, just a normal sword there. Even if it's better than this one. This one's the flaming one, right? Yeah, that's cool! I want to do that. Again, I really like the weapons of this game. I thought they were pretty cool. And even if these, you know, are relatively the same in terms of their range and attack speed, you know, their special is still different. I'm only realizing during the final boss where it's like, oh, sickle sword might help me some more there with like the crazy damage that I can pull off during that. Whereas groups of enemies, maybe something like this thing where Bob with this sword might assist me better. You're still coming after me? Holy crap. Can I like stab? The bow in this game was really cool. Like that. Okay, get this. Okay, I don't want to be on fire anymore. I do not want to be on fire here, preferably. Whoa, the gators are really fast. The wild animals in this game can feel pretty scary. Like, I feel like they did the job of that well. Like, instead of just being like, oh yeah, there's some gators and hippos around and stuff. They actually feel pretty darn dangerous. You know, like a hippo will munch you and murderize you and stuff. They were pretty scary. I liked how you could climb on you know, all sorts of things here. What else is there to talk about the gameplay here, I wonder? Or have I gotten through most of the things? There's things like the skill tree. I feel like a lot of games will have skill trees that feel very much like, here's your basic game mechanics that we just locked behind a skill tree just for the sake of making it feel like you're progressing and stuff like that. Like, an example of that would be things like Assassin's Creed Unity lockpicking, for example. You know, stuff like that, where it's like, here's it behind, like, well, I guess it's not a skill tree in that, but you know what I mean. Or you have to progress so much in the story before you can get it, where it's like, nope, this is completely do it at whatever pace you level up. You can do things in, you know, whatever order, as long as you're following the tree and stuff like that. And almost nothing here feels like it should just be like a base kit game mechanic. It feels almost like everything here really is something that is extra and spicy and cool and stuff. Like, if we go through them again, yeah, there's bonus experience, automatically loot, that's handy, more XP there. Chain assassination, that was pretty cool there. It worked a little bit wonkily, but you know, pretty cool that you can do that from range. More EXP there. Yeah, so I use this a decent bit without even realizing it there. That's a better information tool. Yeah, get even more information like that, though I never really needed that. Loot arrows stuck in your shield, back in your inventory, that's kind of cool. A nice way to get more arrows there. The bow and the... Oh, I'll probably get into, like, the bow more properly in a hot second here. Things for each of the specific bow types. I liked how there was the multiple different bow types for your own playstyle. Like, I liked the hunter bow and predator bow combo that I did there. Wait. Hold RT to charge your heavy attack. Oh. I don't think I ever did that. I did like the holding the light attack button to push them, but I don't think I ever did this. But it really goes to show how there's so many things like this that aren't needed per se, and really do feel like they are adding something there. The fact that your eagle could come after someone, that's pretty cool there. Being able to switch between a couple bows and a couple weapons there. Break shield defense, that's neato there. This was spicy. The fact that you can hold the button with this type of bow and control the arrow like that to try and really get those headshots there, that was cool. It's not at all realistic or anything like that, but it's a fun gameplay mechanic. It's like, wow, that's pretty neat, huh? Stuff like that, where it equips the where it automatically toxins them, toxifies, whatever. That thingamabob there, the multiple things there. I know that there's like the jump slow-mo thingamabob, piercing shields, aiming with your bow in the air will trigger slow-mo, so it's kind of like Breath of the Wild bullet time. I don't know where exactly I would use that, because, you know, I'd be a little bit worried jumping off of things like that. Why wouldn't I just shoot from the very top there? But, you know, still pretty spicy there. What things do we have here? Yeah, that thingamabob there, that's super handy. Permanent attack while in the air. Yeah, the parry, handy there. I guess you could argue that parry might feel like a pretty basic gameplay mechanic that's locked behind it, but, you know, it was never needed in any battle. It definitely made some battles easier, but it was never needed. Make that a bit stronger. Chain with a combo of light attacks. Overpowered chain throw. The chain throw is really cool. You kill somebody with the overpower, then you yoink their weapon and you throw it at some other guy. That I thought was pretty cool. Give some experience. Yeah, you can push after the light attack combo, one more melee attack before they can recover. Oh, maybe that would have been handy before final boss there. Automatically loot an enemy after a melee kill. When I start conflict with a full adrenaline gauge, You could use overpower attack to regain some health and get rid of all negative conditions. Oh, maybe that would have been handy in some of the final battles there. To a perfect dodge, you receive a boosted damage. Oh, so there would have been a perfect dodge like that. Oh, and shield will help you to run faster and bash enemies in your way. You know, I think with my 4 skill points, I might actually go for this then. Because, yeah, that could well have been handy there, you know. Would have been pretty neat. Huh. But yeah, it was never needed. Can do hijack, there's smoke screen and stuff. Increase your fire damage. This I was intrigued by, but it felt like the kind of thing that I would forget if I ever tried to do there. Bring animals onto your side. That's pretty cool. Do some damage with your smoke screen. There have sleep darts, the flesh decay, fire bombs. I use the fire bombs a decent bit. This was a really handy mechanic. The fact that you could sit, wait, and change it from day to night to like change guard schedules and stuff. Like if it's day and there's a whole lot of guards patrolling and you want that not to be the case, just sit and wait and turn it to night, and all of a sudden, hey, a lot of the guards are asleep and now you might have an easier time, you know? That was pretty cool there. Yeah, a nice little passive there. Rare quality gear, tool kill XP. I guess this is another source that you could get materials from in that case. One of my complaints earlier is that you could just get monies and do that. I guess I never really got into. Okay, so maybe retract that one complaint. I don't know. I still don't know what this means. Over time on the afterlife, you regain arrows and tools. I still don't know what that is there. Purchase war chariots from stable shops, can stay underwater longer. Poison darts and stuff. And then if you're still making progress and still gaining levels after you've gotten all the nodes here, you can still do things like this where it's like, hey, here's an additional 1%, here's an additional 1%, here's an additional 1%, and you can just, you know, keep on dumping points into that infinitely and stuff. So you still feel like you are getting stronger. There's no point where it's like, yep, you're done with things. Everything's over. There's no reason to level up ever again, like would be the case with, you know, a lot of other games. I thought that was pretty neato. I quite enjoyed that. I do like the switching weapons thingamabob there, and the fact that you can pull out a torch to see things. I can even throw the torch. I liked that. That was fun. The different types of bows were pretty cool. Like, you know, hunter bow for damage like that, and really homing in there. If you want to snipe, here's your sniper bow that does wicked damage. You control the arrow in midair. There's the shotgun one if you want, you know, the big damage up close. And there's the multi-shot thingamabob as well. Which, you know, I've briefly tried those ones. I wasn't as big on them as I was this type of bow. These kinds of bows, that is. So these are the types of bows that I felt comfortable using throughout my playthrough, and I enjoyed them. And it seems like arrows and stuff are plentiful enough, especially considering so many guards carry arrows, that you can continue doing archery stuff throughout, instead of being something like, you know, maybe AC3 or something like that, where it's like, yeah, maybe I'll use some arrows sometimes. It might be a while before I get more of that, like a little bit of a pain. Here, you could be like constantly burning arrows all the time, and like continuously getting arrows, either off of guards or off of the arrow recharge thingamabobs there. Oh, there was another guy there. Oops. And that was pretty cool. And you can and that kind of plays into dealing with combat in your own way, where you can kind of back off and start shooting arrows at them and stuff. You know, I rather like that, like I'm about to do right now. Wow. I like how once you're kind of locked onto them, it kind of keeps your cursor there, so that, you know, if you're not playing with mouse and keyboard, you know, you don't get majorly screwed with your aim on a moving target. As long as you first get it on the head, it'll kind of keep it there and stuff. I thought that was pretty nice. I rather enjoyed that. A really cool dual sword we got. Neat. What now? How about this thing? Whatever that be over there. Interact, in case anyone wants to read that. And stuff like this that, you know, helps with world building and understanding stuff as well. I thought that was pretty neat there. Am I through with talking about the gameplay, or is there anything else that I want to mention? Inventory. Oh, I can see what these are called now. Carbon crystals. And stuff. Kind of puzzles that you can solve and stuff, which is pretty darn neat. Many materials in this game. Yeah, I still haven't unlocked all the tools there. So I have a whole bunch of quest items and stuff. I might have some better shields by now. Yeah. Sure, slap that on. The fact that you can change different mounts was pretty neat there. Wow. Not much in the way of character customization in terms of looks. I know that you can equip outfits, like full outfits of other assassins from other Assassin's Creed games, as you can in most of these games. Would have been neat if there was a lot more costume customizability, if it was something like Unity, without, you know, factoring in stats. If it was something like the customizability of Unity without it being like, yeah, this is going to determine your stats, you know? Would have been neat. The quest tracking of this game is pretty darn good. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, look, there's all the dudos down now. I guess I should also bring up that the PC optimization of this game is really, really bad. You know, it seems to be running a lot more smoothly now during the later phase of my playthrough. For some reason, I don't know why, but it was having a lot of hiccups in the early stages. And, you know, even earlier this stream, it struggled with some areas. You know, my graphics card is having a field day because my graphics card is, you know, fancy schmancy 3070 there. My CPU is like a medium to slightly higher end CPU from the beginning of 2018 is when it came out. So, you know, it came out like 3 or 4 months after this game released. So you'd think that a CPU like mine would be just fine for a game like this. You know, mid to high end CPU that came out after this game came out. But I still had as many issues as I did along the way, and so much stress trying to fix things. Like, I finally got to the point like this where it's like, okay, now it's starting to run a bit better. And it got me wondering if the whole rest of the Assassin's Creed series was going to be like this. You're transporting something, so I'm going to go after you in that case. Okay. Come on. Come on. Yoink the wood. Sweet. Alright, cool. I'll get some more materials as we're going around and stuff. And it got me wondering if the rest of the Assassin's Creed series from here would be like that. And I own Odyssey and Valhalla despite never having played them. Like, I own them for this channel already, having picked them up on sale on some days. So, I loaded up Valhalla and played like just a little smidge of it. And Valhalla ran perfectly fine. As long as I capped the FPS at 60, like, I could stream and it would run darn near perfectly. It was fantastic. So, it was like, okay, I'm not gonna upgrade my CPU core just for Origins. So, I don't know what was going on with that. Hello, Dracanaron. So yeah, the PC optimization of this game was really, really bad. I have to dock some points for that. That the PC optimization of this game just really sucked. If I had access to one of the consoles that it was on, it probably would have been a whole lot better to have played the console version, I would imagine, because, yeah, the PC version here, it really was not that great, you know? Well, it's not that, is it? Is it really just that? The heck? When the marker's, like, there? Weird. So yeah, gotta dock some brownie points for that. Is there anything else in terms of gameplay to discuss, I wonder? Hi. Ow. Do you mind? You're still alive? Okay, there we go. I don't think there is. Maybe some more things will come to me. There'll probably be some more things that come to me about that. Graphics. I quite liked it. Sometimes the graphics would bug out. But for the most part, yeah, like there's the surface bugging out a little bit like that when I dive under the water. But for the most part, this was a really beautiful game. I really quite enjoyed it. Really quite neato. Again, I play mostly Nintendo games on this channel, mostly Nintendo console stuff. You know, the Switch isn't as powerful of hardware, so I don't play a great many games that, you know, really try to push their graphics or anything like that. So during the times that I do, yeah, we can fast travel here and go do, maybe we'll do the one on the path first or something like that. So during times that I do play games like this that, you know, have evidently put a lot of money into their graphics, and I look at that, I'm like, wow, I'm impressed, I'm staggered, you know, I think that that's really cool. Yeah, sure, I'll just go right for the thingamabob over there, is what I'll do. Anyway, the graphics of this game, they're really good, and it's really crazy to think that, you know, this came out in 2017, and there's been 2 games in this series that have come out since then, and it makes me really excited for Odyssey and Valhalla, because these were really good looking games. You know, or this game was a really good looking game. I quite liked it. You know, like, even textures on basic things that, you know, most players aren't gonna really take the time to look at. Like, it looks good. The texturing work is really well done. The clothing and stuff and the physics as you move around with it, it's really cool. It would be, I guess it wasn't perfect. There were sometimes in cutscenes that, you know, the drapey parts of Bayek's outfit would be fluttering around, even though that would be happening for nobody else, which implies that there wasn't a wind blowing by, but he alone exclusively was getting this really windy effect. So, you know, there'd be some minor bugginess with some visual things like that, or, you know, the world bugging out when we're underwater. Sometimes that would happen a decent bit, you know. So stuff like that could, you know, slightly break the immersion here and there. But for the most part, it looked really good. I quite like looking at the world of this game. Even something like this where it's like, oh, I'm just surrounded by, you know, desert and rocks around me. It's so beautiful that I still kind of like looking at it and feeling the immersion, you know? So I quite like the graphics of this. The character models looked really good as well. Okay, so this is a camp then. I gotcha. Some of the more minor cutscenes, some of the, what the heck? Who's trying to kill me now? Some of the animations on them and some of the more minor cutscenes would seem kind of robotic. Like, evidently one's for getting side quests or something like that, but you know, that's par for the course. Here's just some basic, they're talking kind of stuff. But even during the main story, there were some things that, you know, felt slightly robotic. Like that one leading up to the final boss, especially considering the voice acting of that wasn't very good. Where it just kind of felt like two AIs talking to each other. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, there wasn't that much emotion there. Generally, the voice acting, though, unlike most of the main characters in this, was really good. You know, that one situation earlier this stream where the voice acting of those two people just really sucked was, you know, an exception rather than the norm, luckily. Yeah, I generally really like the voice work of this game. Was pretty well done there. Maybe I can find a different way in here. Like this, you totally don't notice this, right? Whoa!
What are you doing?
You know, it continues to have Assassin's Creed silliness as all these games have. You know, it's not gonna be, you know, peak form in terms of realism like that, evidently, and there's always gonna be like some minor bugs and jank. But there was never really any bugs or jank that, you know, super impeded my ability to get through the game. It was typical Ubisoft jank that you laugh at, and it's like, wow, that's pretty silly, you know? It's not like game-breaking, immersion-breaking stuff. Well, apart from like the weird graphical glitches, as I've mentioned before, where it's like if the world is bugging out, then, you know, might break my immersion there a little bit. But generally, like, weird AI behavior. You know, it was never super bad. It was pretty par for the course. And oh, there's a, oh, you're docking here. I love how stuff like this happens throughout the day. You know, while these moving fortresses essentially on the water have their own schedules, do things throughout the day, and stuff like this can occur. And now it's like, oh, now I can come over here and I can loot this thing. You know, stuff like this that changes throughout the day. Oh, man. I thought that was pretty cool. Uh-oh. I'm going to the bow. So with the different weapons and the different bows, it really felt like this game really promoted you playing in your own way. And I like that. As I'm doing right now, but I can't really do that when my back's against a wall. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Who am I? I'm targeting you with this? We'll chain throw at this guy then. There we go. Did I do the thing? Sweet, I did the thing. Now we're gonna go do this thing. Sweet, and it's really satisfying just running around doing stuff like this. Can I grab some arrows here? Sweet. I got the thingamabob. All right, I'm out of here. See ya. Goodbye. Anything else to mention with the visuals? I guess I already mentioned how I wish there was more customization in terms of outfits and stuff that I guess sort of applies into visuals stuff. Anything else to mention? One of my favorite things when it comes to transitions in this game was the when you hold the one button to switch from day to night or vice versa. Oh, this is a fort too. And, you know, it just seamlessly does that instead of like, let's do a loading screen and then it's the other thingamabob. I probably have to be out of combat to, yeah. Probably have to be out of combat to be able to use it. Like, really? This is a, oh, okay. Well, in that case, because it used to be a camp. Okay. There we go, we did the thingamabob. Now let's go here and do that. But like if I hold this button, it just seamlessly moves the camera up. You don't see anything loading in or popping in. There's a, is that part of the world at the bottom left now existing? No, that's strange. Like a hole or an entrance to something. No, it just seamlessly does that. You know, I feel like a lot of games, if they zoom out like that, it's like, here's all the details that weren't there before that are suddenly popping in right in your face. No, it's pretty seamless. You hold that button, it moves the camera up, there's the stars moving. I love how all the ships move and stuff as well, as like, you know, the day has gone on. So it feels like time is really passing. That's cool, I love that. You know, it's a really cool gameplay mechanic, and it's really charming too. Like, that was a really cool addition with this game. I rather enjoyed that. Alright, let's go ahead and call my horse. Calling your horse from anywhere is really nice. I think that, you know, you could do that in previous games as well. I'm fairly certain you're not transporting anything. Yeah, meh. We can just keep going towards the thingamabob. Yeah, is that everything for visuals? Maybe? I never found, like, any areas were too bright or too dark. Play something like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and there are absolutely places all over the world that are too bright, and it's like, ah, my eyes! But even places like this, where it's like, here's a whole bunch of desert and sand and rocks and stuff, and you think that a concern might be, like, what if it's too bright? What if it's really jarring? I never really found it hard on the eyes. You know, it's really rather pleasant to the eyes, in my opinion. And I'm just now noticing how there's even, like, a mirage effect as I'm looking at, like, the pyramid and some other details over there. Where it is getting, like, kind of blurred and warped and stuff like that, as would happen in the desert heat. That's cool. I was so distracted with going from point A to point B and doing objectives that I never really noticed that visual detail before. That's cool. I like it. But yeah, this game is pretty easy and pleasant on the eyes. I quite liked looking at it. 'Twas good there. Let's see here. I guess another thing that applies to gameplay. I encountered this hallucination, what, in real life? I haven't really been anywhere hot enough to experience that, I don't think. So what's over here that I missed? There's a chest there. Oh, there's somebody died there and stuff. Have I marked everybody? Maybe. One of the things that I can backpedal to gameplay too that I forgot to mention is, you know, if you're doing a fort, you know, there is punishment to dying. You know, it's not gonna save all your progress of all the dodos that you've killed and stuff. You know, you're gonna have to do that again. But the actual objectives, like killing Captain, killing Commander, and losing treasure, you keep all that progress. So, you know, it feels good to... Oh, that's down there. So it feels good to get those done. Knowing like, hey, now that I've killed this guy or looted this treasure chest, you know, that's done forever. You know, is done here. There's the Assassin's Creed jank. Okay, stabby stab. Yeah. And then the two treasure thingamabobs. I think that's a weird symbol for treasure. When it comes to visuals and aesthetics, like, I wish that the treasure chest thingamabob actually looked like a chest. Because that confused me for so much of my playthrough, being like, what are these things? Like, now I know they're chests. But I just straight up didn't really know for quite a decent bit of the playthrough. Was the thing. I wonder what they are meant to symbolize there. What sort of symbol that I'm not familiar with. Something or other, maybe. The killer, hey. One of them is an Oasis Mirage. What, the symbols? What are they breaking? Or are you just saying the chests, one of them isn't real? Oh. And the different bow types aren't exactly exclusive to you as they're doing multi-shot things. That's kind of cool. Okay, I don't know what the heck is going on there. Whoa. Okay, now I can do this and then I can chain throw. Like this. Chain throw. Bam. Sweet. Now we just gotta loot the treasure and stuff. I got a cool light bow. Stuff. Oh, one minor thing that I don't really like gameplay-wise is all these little things like this don't have any visual indicator that you can loot them until you get close. They look like just parts of the environment, and that's probably how they were originally designed. It was probably later in development that's just like, oh, let's just slap the ability to loot onto these various things. There's no indication afterwards that they've been looted, so you wouldn't really know at face value that these are things that you can loot. And sometimes it really sucks having one of these treasure chests next to something like this, because the treasure chests you have to hold Y to loot, whereas these you tap. So sometimes you start holding Y because you come up to the chest and it's like, oh, I just looted that thing. I'm not looting the thing that I actually had to hold Y. So sometimes you come up to these things and it's like you do a bunch of tapping, you do a little bit of holding, and sometimes not the exact thing that you need to do. Like here, evidently, I just need to tap, but that that was pretty strange there. So it would have been nice if treasure chests were just like, you know, either just tapping as well, or only like have them on their own. Don't have them right next to things that you have to tap like that, you know. Would have been kind of nice. So there's just a minor thing there. Returning to visuals, is there anything else important for that? Don't think so. I think I got through most of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you about that. Music, the game didn't really have a whole lot of music. Like, it's not really playing anything. It's playing some atmospheric sounds, I guess. You know, it didn't really feel like there was that much of a score to this game. The main themes, when they would come on, would be pretty cool. You know, that's the case with a lot of Assassin's Creed games. Like, during the, you know, the final boss for Aya, for example. I didn't really notice it that much during Bayek. It is possible that I was paying too much attention to the boss itself. But during Aya's, I took notice of it more towards the end. Or was it during the cutscenes after? I don't know. Everything's blurring together. So, like, when the main leitmotifs came in, like the main theme of this game, or the Ezio's family theme, that kind of stuff would be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But for the most part, music was not really a big part of this game, it felt like. So, you know, I do wish that this game could have had a bit more of a musical identity. That I would have liked. Would have been neat there. But, you know, didn't really feel like it had too much of one there. And that's really all I have to say about the music. It just wasn't really around all that much. Okay, those aren't soldiers, they're burbs. Okay, so what the heck is this here? Location discovered, Tomb of the Cynic. The tombs that you explore and just directly get a skill point for finding the tablet. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, faster way to get stronger and stuff. Just raw experience. Whoops. Whoops. I don't know how the heck you didn't hear that. Okay, hi. Wow, that still hit you. Yeah, a reminder to pull out a torch. Okay. Yoink. Got pelt and stuff there. Loot. A carbon crystal. Sweet. Neat. I'm high. Hopefully there's more carbon crystals in this game than there is, you know, stuff that you need to consume carbon crystals for to upgrade. Because while some of them are in, like, the finite chests that are marked on the map as, like, location objectives, some of them are just random chests like that in other locations that have nothing to do with, you know, the completion percentage thing about the map. Dearest Mother, in case anyone wants to read that. I'm in the middle of my review here still. The heck is... Oh, yoink. Because I guess those appear in tombs and stuff. So is this that as well? Nope, those are candles. They're not glowy then. So I guess moving on to the story. I feel like, as is the case with a lot of Assassin's Creed stories, sometimes I have a hard time following the finer details. You know, you give me like a super epic JRPG or something like that. Like give me Xenoblade Chronicles, for example, and I'll be able to follow this story through. You know, that takes a time with all the finer details. But Assassin's Creed games, they usually tend to get like right to the point, and sometimes that means that I can find it slightly difficult to you know, recognize the finer details and say how we got here. Like these were the initial 5 masked guys, and then these guys were like some higher ups, I can say, that were calling some shots. And then, yeah, it's stuff like that where it's like, I don't really, you know, I can't really tell you who are these characters, what are their motivations, stuff like that. You know, like, whoa. So, like games before it, this game, you know, didn't really take the time to explore a lot of these things. But, you know, it's not really the main focus, so I guess it makes sense. But, you know, I do wish that I could better remember, like, the finer details of the plot and stuff. Like, if you asked me what was the main villain's motivation in this, even, I might not be able to tell you. Just that he wanted to rule over things. It's like, wow, Egyptians aren't that great, we should rule over them and stuff, wow. You know, apart from that, I really couldn't tell you. So, you know, I feel like it suffers from some flaws like that. Yoink. But in terms of the characters and, you know, the adventure that they went through, like with Bayek there, I really liked Bayek. Acidic Teachings of Diodoros, in case anyone wants to read that. I'm in the middle of my review right now, so normally I'd read them, but this time we're skipping them. We've read a whole lot of them anyway. I really like Bayek. You know, I knew the basic premise of, you know, his son had died. He's out there to kill baddies and stuff. Our beloved teacher Diodoros, in case anyone wants to read that. And I worried for a while that it might just be a repeat of Ezio's story, where it's like he sets out in search of revenge, just destroy those who wronged him, but then eventually learns to fight for the greater good and, you know, values, you know, the people that are still there with him and, you know, his connections and stuff like that, you know, is the lesson that Ezio came to through his journey. So I was worried that it might be a repeat of that, but it wasn't. You know, there was a part of him that would, you know, still have revenge and rage, like, driving him. But it wasn't, like, his main driving force. First and foremost, he wanted to, murderize these baddies because they're baddies that need to be stopped. You know, that was his goal from the beginning. And, you know, he would try to not let his revenge kind of cloud his judgment in terms of that. Sometimes, you know, his anger would get the better of him sometimes. Sometimes, you know, he's not just an emotionless robot or anything like that. You know, there are times that when he's encountering one of these dudos that really pisses him off, that, you know, he'll let that show. So he wasn't just emotionless, but, you know, he was mainly fighting because these were baddies that needed to be stopped and stuff, and he didn't stop caring about those around him and stuff, you know. Gosh dang it. Like, he was a really genuinely good guy, you know, and I really liked how, while in a lot of previous Assassin's Creed games, and just a lot of stories in general, you know, the hero has to work for status to become someone that people recognize and such. Like, that's a really common thing in a storytelling there. Oh, you're transporting a thingamabob. Whereas this was a bit of a change of pace where it's like people already recognize him. He's the Magi. And a lot of games will have, you know, the character doing side quests, like, just for the sake of it or just for rewards or what have you. Whereas, in this, there was like a clear story and world building reason why Bayek was going around and, you know, helping people with these various side quests. Because he's the Magi, that's what he does. He's here to help people out, and people love him for it. Like, oh my goodness, it's Bayek. He's such a cool guy, you know? Gosh dang, I'm gonna die here. Ah! Please, please, please. So, you know, I'm not saying that it's the kind of thing that, you know, every story should try to do that, you know. Every story did that, it wouldn't be interesting. It was interesting because it was a change of pace. And it felt like I was playing as someone that I could really get behind as, like, a cool, nice guy. There's especially a lot of media nowadays that, you know, has started making really unlikable protagonists. Like, one big case that I heard about that recently was I believe it was a Square Enix title. I believe it was called Forspoken. I saw, like, some clips from that and some people talking about it. And the impression that I got of the hero of that game is like, wow, she's really unlikable and a really crummy person, huh? You know, but, this is a case of, like, the opposite, where it's like, wow, he's a really cool guy. I can get behind playing him, you know? I thought that was pretty neat. I liked Bayek, I liked Aya. I do kind of wish that there was more of an aspect to Aya. Like in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you would be switching between the two twins. It felt like they had like a pretty equal presence, and they each had their own plot lines to complete. This game was more so, yeah, here's Bayek as the main character, the one that you're doing like almost everything with, and here's just little sections that we sprinkle with Aya in there, you know. So it felt like Aya was almost like a side mode that wasn't supposed to be all that big of a detail within the game. I think that I would have preferred her having a bit of a bigger presence, and them each having like their own story. Well, I guess they did have their own storylines that they were, you know, progressing down, but it should have felt more like that, you know. It felt very much like, yeah, this is Bayek's story, and here's like some fun facts about what's going on with Aya, you know. It would have been cool to see a little bit more of a balance, you know. I probably would have appreciated that a little bit more. But yeah, I really like both Bayek and Aya. I thought that they were both pretty cool there. Very likable characters. What else is there in terms of story? You know, in terms of the modern day, it makes me really wonder what it's working towards, because they abandoned the Juno plotline by resolving that in some comic book there, which still really pisses me off to this day. But, you know, oh, that guy's a little bit higher level there. But since we saw William Miles come up at the end there, it's like, oh, is there still some thing going on with the overall story? Is it working towards something? It seems like it's starting a new plot line. I think it's interesting how you're playing somebody that initially worked at Abstergo, and I guess still sort of does, but at the end of this game is starting to side with the assassins and stuff. I thought it was interesting how they decided to make the movie canon. I never thought I'd ever have to think about the Assassin's Creed movie ever again. With her being the one that designed the Animus from the movie, and, you know, didn't get, like, any credit or recognition from it, and, you know, had her role kind of dumbed down and stuff. So, you know, I have to applaud them for being like, yeah, all these bits of media that we're making around it, like the movie, yep, that's all canon. Makes me wonder if that comic book where they resolve the Juno plotline is canon then. I guess it probably is, huh? Ugh. Ah, well. But, you know, it's not, I'm not exactly a very big fan of the Assassin's Creed movie. If you ask me what the details of that plot were, I would not be able to tell you. I would have no idea there. But it had, like, really cool, stunts and stuff. You know, the action was really well done. So a lot of the action scenes were really cool. I had to give it that. That's the only thing that really comes to mind when I think the Assassin's Creed movie. But the fact that when I was reading up on, like, the lore of this character and being like, huh, this seems faintly familiar. What is this? Wait, is that the Assassin's Creed movie? And realizing that it was when I started looking into it. It's like, oh, well, you know, even if the movie isn't very good, gotta applaud them for, like, the continuity here and stuff. I have to applaud them there. But yeah, I am kind of intrigued to see where her story goes. I would have preferred if in the modern storyline they had just, you know, actually seen their initial plot line through to the end that they were working through for, you know, like a decade, instead of just abandoning it. Would have been neat to see. But I am at least intrigued about the new plot line that's come up here. Is the case. Oh, great, sandstorm's coming in. The adaptive weather is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. There we go. Took down the Dudos. Sweet. Let's go get the chest here. Is what we can do. Sweet. No, I will not hold on. Yeah, the danger passed. I totally didn't kill your commander or anything like that. So yeah, in terms of overall plotline, you know, this isn't exactly gonna be like a masterpiece of a story that I'm gonna remember for years to come. You know, ask me about the details of the story, and like I said, I would not be able to tell you. That's the case that it is for, you know, a lot of Assassin's Creed games that I've played. But the characters that existed within this story, the main characters like Bayek and Aya, I like them. They were likable characters. I wanted, you know, I wanted things to work out for them. I wanted, you know, to continue on through this game because, like, wow, these are some good characters. I want them to, you know, get the happy ending that they deserve. I thought that it was interesting with them deciding to tell, like, the Assassin's Creed kind of origin story through this one as well. With, I guess starting out with the name of the Hidden Ones and later being called the Assassins, like, sometime later or something like that. It was interesting the creative directions they went to come up with excuses for some of the things that they've established as canon in, you know, earlier in the series. Like the fact that the assassins for a long time would cut off their left ring fingers and have their hidden blade on that. And it's like, why the heck was that? And then you had to come up with an excuse for it. And their excuse is like, oh, the first assassin did that by accident. So now people are doing that to, like, show that they believe in him and stuff. And in the creed. And it's like, well, a silly excuse is better than no excuse, I guess. I don't know if I could have come up with a better excuse, you know, myself anyway. So, you know, it works. It serves its purpose as an excuse. Gets the job done and stuff. Oh, you went that way, you absolute weirdo. Well, now you're on your own, and maybe I can come get a sneak attack, even if I can't kill. I know that I had an upgrade available in the thingamabob, but it's not for the hidden blade, is it? Oh, it's for my quiver. Oh. What am I at now? 37 and 10. Okay. That's pretty neato. I'll gladly take that. Can I? No, not jump into the hay from here. Uh-oh. But yeah, and I appreciated the differences with the story, not just being like a repeat of Ezio. What? Let's see here. Come on. You're just gonna chill there? Okay. If that's what you want to do, then fine, I guess. Where was that chest at? What the heck? Here? Whoa, 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 wait. This away, and then we'll complete this location. Boobity bop. And then I grabbed those things, and we did the thingamabob. So I'm in an area that, you know, I'm a little bit under-leveled for. Oh yeah, there's that I couldn't do at the time. You know? Yeah, have I said all the things that I wanted to say? Oh, I guess in terms of other things, there's the, you know, this is pretty gross. Loads it and stuff. This I'm not a fan of. When games do stuff like this. Yes, get heal. What are the Helix credits anyway? They're just the, thingamabobs for, yeah, we have the main DLC. So, like, we will play the DLC later down the line here. Will be the case. Got the Season Pass there. Packs. Far Cry Primal Pack. Undead Pack. Eastern Dynasties Pack. For Honor Pack. Almighty Pack. Wacky Pack. I was almost debating about using the free Helix credits that I got to get the stupid swordfish, because it is pretty silly. Gladiator Pack. First Civilization Pack. Ooh, some glowy things. Nightmare Pack. That's pretty cool, too. Legendary Bows Pack. Legendary Melee Pack. Like, don't you miss the days when you could explore the world and get all the customization options and stuff and customize your character in your own way that way? Instead of it being like, yeah, you wanna customize your characters in interesting ways. So I guess this game does have, you know, pretty cool customization, but it's behind a shop. But, you know, game developers are gonna keep on doing this as long as it keeps printing money, because oftentimes, like not always, but a lot of the time, these in-game shops will make more revenue than the sales of the actual game itself, just because of like the whales that dump a lot of money into it, you know. So, you know, this is pretty gross, but it's not something that's gonna be changing in the industry as long as people keep buying it. Like, it was ever since Elder Scrolls Oblivion from 2006 when they released the Golden Horse Armor as a DLC, and while there was a lot of outrage about it, like, oh my goodness, they're making people pay for something that's just cosmetic, it still resulted in a lot of sales of that, and that's when people in the industry started taking notice, people are willing to pay for something that doesn't change your gameplay experience at all apart from what you look like. People are willing to pay for things that are purely cosmetic. And it feels like ever since then, things have been, you know, continuing to snowball towards more and more stuff like that. So, that I'm not really a big fan of. I have to dock this game a lot of brownie points for that reason, because that's the kind of thing that grosses me out. So, how does the Time Savers pack in this work? Is it not, like, marking things on the map, then? Drachmas. Here's them charging you for materials and stuff. Ability points. Reveal most hidden locations. Discover the secrets of ancient Egypt. Okay, so I was really worried when I first saw the store at the beginning of the playthrough, because I thought it would work kind of like some of the old Time Savers packs, where... Is it the way that the old Time Saver packs work? I never bought any of the old Time Savers packs, but the impression that I got was like, these things aren't marked on your map at all. Buy the Time Saver pack, and it'll mark them on the map. You know? It seems like this, luckily, is not the case. It's just... buy this and we'll change them from question marks to these things. But, you know, like I've said before, the gameplay loop of this game is actually, like, really addictive and fun. And if you go around to, like, the various question marks anyway, then you'll, you know, find out what these things are. And you'll know that a question mark is already one of these things because it'll be the special glowy yellow question mark rather than a regular question mark. Like, you won't know which of these three it is, I guess, until you get there. But it's always going to be one of those glowy question marks anyway. So, you know, I was pretty grossed out by seeing the Time Saver pack and being like, oh, that especially kills motivation 100% if you just have to, like, randomly run around hoping you run into, like, all the things that you need if you don't get the Time Saver pack. But luckily, that's not the case. It's just, you know, they're marked as question marks on the map. You find out when you get closer. And they're just like, oh, this which feels like the standard normal thing. It doesn't feel like I'm missing anything by not having them marked exactly what they are on the map. It's fun having them as question marks coming up and being like, what is this? Like, that feels like the normal intended gameplay. But there were probably some higher ups that later on were like, huh, what if we gave the option for people to buy the ability to see what the question marks are right from the get-go for some of these thingamabobs? Because why not? It's free money, I guess, there. But luckily it doesn't feel needed. So luckily none of the time saver packs are at least, you know, marking things on the map that you would have no idea are there otherwise. Yeah, the stupid Helix credits. Most popular, I'm not buying any of this. I'm not doing that. Owned is just the, oh, the club thingamabobs? Calamity Blade. Quality 83. Wait, regular, so where is that? Where do I have that? Where did I get that from? With ability both to create and resolve catastrophe. Hemet Hunter Bow. Ubisoft club thingamabobs. I guess I have these outfits from the... I don't even know where I equipped them. Do I have Edward's thing? Do I not have Edward's thing? Oh, there it is. There it is like that. So we can't always, you know, equip Edward's outfit and I can go put on my Edward cosplay for, like, some later parts is what we can always do. That is an option there. But yeah, I have the add-ons, you know, the significant DLCs there. And yeah. It does kind of suck here. The game never felt at all like it was something where it's like, it's so difficult or so limited that I need to use the shop in order to get access to the options that I need, you know, to be able to continue progressing. It was nothing like that. It wasn't one of those situations. This is a full price game. Well, sometimes. Ubisoft loves marking down their games, so, you know, this game goes on sale very often for pretty cheap prices and stuff. Gosh dang it, I'm dead now. But, you know, it's like a full standard AAA game that you pay for, and it does feel like you have the full game. You know. He's still saying it!
Apollo means me to find this halo of the Huntress.
He's still saying it. Unbelievable. But it's not one of those games that feels like, without the DLC / without purchasing things in the shop, that it feels like an incomplete game. You know, this game has a lot of content for you to go around and enjoy. And like I've said, has a very addictive gameplay loop that I quite enjoyed here. Like, this feels like a very full game. You know, it's not like one of those games where... There's this one meme that I saw at one point where, it was like, games back then, and it was like, the game is burger and fries, and then DLC was like the drink, or something like that. And then it's like, games nowadays, like, base game is the patty, then DLC is the buns, DLC is the condiments, DLC is the drink, DLC is the fries, you know, all this stuff for the way that the way that a lot of modern games are handled. This game, it felt like main game is like the full main base game is a very meaty burger with a lot of stuff to it and a lot that you can explore and enjoy. What the heck is this? Well, there's a development oversight, I guess. But the condiments are DLC. Is the... Oh, I didn't think you'd be able to jump up that, so I tried to dismount. That's the way that it felt. Because, you know, cosmetics. The store here. The fact that, you know, you really can't customize your character, it doesn't feel like at all. You can't customize your outfit without paying for stuff here. Like, if you're not paying for stuff, you're always going to have this look. Which isn't a bad look, but there are some really cool outfits that I wish that I could, you know, unlock in the main game. So, you know, it's definitely not one of those games that, you know, the main game is, you know, a super basic thingamabob here, and every single one of these other aspects of it is a DLC. No, it felt like this was like a very meaty meal of a base game, but it was one without condiments because the customization is all behind there. So, you know, it is enough to warrant bringing up where it's like, that's not the best, but, you know, apart from that, the main game itself doesn't really feel lacking. And it makes me excited to play the DLC and stuff because, you know, this is a very full, very complete game already. You know, lots of stuff to do, lots of objectives like this around the world that are really satisfying to go around collecting. How the heck do I get that? I guess I go on this way. I gotcha. I understand now. Oh, hi. Sweet. All right. Maybe I can... Oh my goodness. Well, I completed the area anyway, it's fine. So yeah, definitely not perfect. I definitely have my fair share of... He's saying it again!
Apollo means me to find this halo of the Huntress.
Why does he keep saying it? Is this an area that I can unlock? It is. You know, I've put as many hours into this as I have. Quite a lot. And there's still all these areas I've never even been into that have like more things to explore, more side quests, and all kinds of things, you know? Is pretty darn neat. How about I enter this area and we get like a fast travel point and then I wrap things up? Because, you know, I feel like I'm starting to get to the point that I've pretty much said what it is that I want to say. Stuff. So, you know, it wasn't exactly perfect. You know, I have, you know, my handful of complaints and stuff like that. I do have grievances with this game. But for the most part, I actually really like this game. And it kind of makes me wish that, you know, I was playing this at a time that my game schedule wasn't as insanely crazy as it is right now. Like, I'm at a point where there's literally 3 things coming out tomorrow that I'm picking up there. Metroid Prime Remastered, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Octopath Traveler 2, in addition to my bazillion games I'm already got going on around here. It's like, you know, normally I wouldn't have even started this game at this point since I figured it would take me a while, but we always start out the new year with a new Assassin's Creed playthrough, and this year was no different. But it makes me really wish that I was playing this game at a time that my schedule was more open, and I could really just take my time to like really savor and enjoy going around and completing lots of side objectives, which I did do a decent bit throughout this playthrough. You know, I did do a decent bit of exploring around and doing side objectives because I knew that it would level me up and help me out with the main story, the thing that I needed to get through anyway. Sweet. New area discovered. What? Don't tell me there's not a synchronization point here. What? What? There's no way. Get a bit further in and let's see what's going on here. And like I said before, other games, if I don't plan on 100%ing them, sometimes I'd wonder, like, should I really be wasting my time doing this when I should just be committing to the main story? Whereas here, it never felt like a waste because I was gaining experience that would help me get through the story anyway. But because of... There's a decent bit of popping. But this is a really satisfying gameplay loop game. It's really fun to just explore around. So if only I was playing this at a time that my schedule is more open, and I could really savor this game to an even greater extent, because this feels like a game that I would have, you know, really enjoyed savoring there. And, you know, after the sour taste that I got in my mouth after playing, you know, Syndicate a decent bit after it came out, I got a sour taste in my mouth from playing Unity back when, after how glitchy that game ended up and stuff. And then, you know, I played Syndicate when it was on sale a decent bit later down the line, and I was like, yeah, this just isn't really all that fun there. It's just kind of meh. It's just kind of a world with missions in it, and that's all it really felt like to me. I was just kind of done with Assassin's Creed at that point, and I was like, yeah, I'm not, I don't think I'm picking up any more games from this. But, you know, the series still had a soft place in my heart, or a special place in my heart, whatever the phrase, expression, thingamabob there is. And, like, I knew one day that I wanted to do the complete Assassin's Creed series on this channel, and now we've gotten all the way to Origins, and I'm experiencing this for the first time. And it's like, wow, I was actually really pleasantly surprised by this game. I actually had a lot of fun. In terms of general satisfaction and fun, this is probably one of my favorites in the series now. Like, I still think that my favorite Assassin's Creed game has got to be Black Flag. You know, I still don't think that's topped. What the heck is happening here? The heck? Weird? And I assume I can't go this way because there'll be world borders. But what was that about? There gonna be a world border here? Hold on, let me just check. My favorite is still Black Flag. Yeah, there's the world border. But this one is definitely up there. I definitely quite enjoyed. Where the heck am I? Oh, I went a decent smidge into it. I definitely quite enjoyed it. Yeah, let's go to the Great Sand Sea. I'm gonna look this up now. What the heck? Oh, I have to alt-tab off the game. Assassin's Creed Origins Man with flowers in desert, maybe? I don't know. Desert vision. Let's see here. Desert visions were a series of mirages and hallucinations experienced by the Magi, become founder of the Hidden Ones, Bayek of Siwa, during his travels across Egypt to destroy the Order of the Ancients. Some were clairvoyant in nature, leading him to Silica or specific locations. Others alluded to events experienced both by Bayek and people much more ancient than him. Huh. So there's sand drawings that are around the world, for one. Hallucinations. Among the hallucinations caused by the desert heat. So it's not like a side quest thing at all. It's just, these are hallucinations that you can experience in the desert. That's kind of cool. Among the hallucinations caused by the desert heat, Bayek could encounter a vulture perched above his own dead body, to which he said, "I will not die today." Huh. Other minor hallucinations include an oasis, a well, a cloud of locusts, raining insects, a floating scarf, a falling fish, meteor shower, a woman picking flowers. Okay, that's the one that we saw. A single flower upon the sand, a burning bush, symbolic there, person on a camel, remains of a battlefield, a dead war elephant, a man with a cane that turned into a snake, a second sun, a falling star, a ghostly being riding behind Bayek. Oh, that's unnerving. It's kind of cool that there's desert hallucinations in this game. Yeah, I took a break between games. How's it going, Guzma? This way we go. I was confused when it wasn't marked on like the top thingamabob. Let's just go, you know, mark this area of the world, and then wrap things up. So we still have some more content to go in. Oh, that's the falling fish. There it is. We saw it. I'm not even that boosted. But yeah, so we're not quite done with this game yet. I don't know if I'll do any more main game stuff. There probably aren't any important side quests. I mean, there was that one thing that we inspected that, you know, gave us some lore about stuff with Desmond. That makes me wonder, like, oh, is it still important? What's going on there? So maybe I'll end up looking up if there's more stuff like that and if it is important for anything. In which case, maybe I'll do that. But apart from that, we might just be done with the main game now. And then we'll do the DLC, and then we'll be completely through with Assassin's Creed Origins. But this is the end of the main game playthrough. Yeah, it is. It is possible to get it. Whoa. So, yeah, not quite done with this game yet. But we might be done with the main game. I'll look up if there's anything else important in the main game that I missed. Otherwise, next time I stream this game, we'll probably start with the DLC, which would be, I guess, the Hidden Ones first. Make the journey to Shinai, known as the Land of Turquoise. So I guess that takes place after the main game is done. And you start doing some work as Hidden Ones. Have I ever seen it happen? Yep. I have. That's how I know it's possible. So yeah, we'll end up doing that next time, probably, if there isn't anything else important in the main game. Which, part of me kind of hopes that there isn't, considering the crazy state of the, game schedule around here, you know? Another hallucination? What? Oh! I take it that's supposed to be the burning bush? In that case? Yeah, so there really is, like, no synchronization points. Nothing in this big empty desert. Just hallucinations. Stuff, huh? Just hallucinating in the desert heat. That's all it is. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, yeah, we never even mapped out the whole world, not even each of the main sections. It really goes to show how there is a lot to find in this world, and it's a really, really big world that they give you to explore. Alright. Let's establish this section, saving. Which means, new region discovered, Great Sand Sea. The Great Lanayru Sand Sea. Is there anything in here? Nope, there isn't. It's just empty too? Okay, well, guess I'm not doing anything here then. In that case, let's just fast travel into some safer territory, like Siwa. Yeah, that. Watch out, Fire Lakes are after you. They were intriguing, and they were a bit scary. I never actually killed any of them. This a guard here? Yeah, level 1. Screw this guy in particular!
Hey ho,
And I guess this guy too. Well. Yoink. Okay. Well, I think that we might just be done now. There's a transport of copper. We're almost done. Let me just do this really quickly first. Hi. Hi. Well. Okay, chain assassination. Ow. Okay. Oh, you're just out of here, though. Okay, where's the copper? Where's the copper? Did I get it already? Well, let's hope that I got it already. Let's hope that I got that, I guess, huh? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good to wrap up now, right? Don't see any immediately near transports. No. No, you suspect nothing? But yeah, overall, I really quite like this game. This was a good time. I quite enjoyed. It's definitely up there in the Assassin's Creed series for me. Yeah, we beat the game, we beat the final boss. I was just giving my full review. Was the case, and I think I've said everything that I needed to say. Is the case. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, next time we'll probably start the DLC. But yeah. So with that, thanks all who stopped by and hung out for this set of shenanigans and this series, this adventure here, which again, we'll continue with the DLC at some point in the future here. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to experiencing this DLC, and we shall see what comes of it. So with that, thanks all once again, and until next time, take care and see you. Goodbye.